Good morning children, welcome back. In the previous video, we have seen about the coordination in animals, the brain part and the spinal cord. Okay, and the main function, that is the reflex action and the reflex arc. And now in today's video, we are going to see about the coordination in plants. How plants coordinate like us. So in plants, the control and coordination is done by the chemical substances called plant hormones or phytohormones. Phyto means plant and hormones are the type of chemical substances. And now there are the main 5 types of plant hormones. You have to remember this, okay? They are auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid and ethylene. Okay, that you can remember it as AGCAE. Okay, remember the initials of it, AGCAE, AGCAE. Okay, you can remember is at AGCAE, AGCAE, AGCAE. Okay, coordination in plants. What are the hormones? Are AGCAE, that is auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid and ethylene. Now auxins. What auxins do? It helps in the cell division, cell elongation and growth. Now gibberellins you can remember as auxins. Auxins means what? The elongation. Elongation process is done over there. Okay, the growth part is done over there in the cellular level. Okay, auxins works on the cellular level. And then gibberellins, it helps in the growth of stem and branches. Gibberellins are located in the stem and branches. Then there are cytokinins, again for the cell division, but in the formation of fruits and seeds. Not just the cell division, but in the formation of fruits and seeds. Then abscisic acid is there. What acid does? Always remember the acid is for inhibiting something. You can mix acid for something to stop the reaction. Okay, so it inhibits growth and affects wilting of leaves. Wilting means what? Green leaves turning yellow, that is known as wilting of leaves. Next is ethylene. Ethylene helps in the flowering and ripening of fruits. Okay, now there are as we move, the plants also move. Okay, you can do the experiments so that you can see the movements in the plants also. And now there are 2 types of movements, that is growth independent movement and growth dependent movements. Okay, so growth independent movements are in the plants, the information is carried from the cells by electrochemical means. There is no specialized tissue for conduction of information. So the plants change their shape by changing the amount of water in them. This results in swelling and shrinking. This change of shape results in a movement. The example you can see the touch me not plant, okay, showing the growth independent movement. Touch me not plant means what? The mimosa plant. Okay, Lazalu, what we say in Marathi. Okay, the touch me not plant is related to growth independent movements, nothing related to growth. Now growth dependent movements, you must have seen plants such as pea and grapes with tendrils, correct, the climbers. Movement in these plants occurs in the growing stem of tendrils. When the tendrils come in contact with supporting object, they coil and cling around it. Okay, we do not need to coil it around a stick or something. They automatically coil around the object they find. So plants respond to the stimuli slowly by growing in a particular direction. This type of growth is directional. See here, the movements in the plants, what we say, the tropic movements. Tropic movements means what? It is the directional movements, or it depends on the growth, that is a directional movement towards or away from the stimulus, and it depends on the growth. There are different types of tropic movements, that is phototropism, geotropism, chemotropism and hydrotropism. Phototropism. Photo means light. It is a movement of plants in the response to light. If it is towards the light, it is known as positive phototropism. And if it is away from the light, then it is known as negative phototropism. The bending of shoot towards the light is known as positive phototropism, and bending of root away from the light is known as negative phototropism. Then the geotropism. Geotropism is movement of plants in response to gravity. Do you see the roots growing upwards, up from the ground? No. Always roots grow under the ground. This is known as geo. Geo means what? Gravity. Okay, earth. Geo means earth. So the growth is towards the gravity, gravitational force. That is downward growth of roots. If it is away from the gravity, it is called the negative geotropism. Upward growth of shoot. Do you see the stem or branches growing inside the ground? No. So this growth is known as the negative geotropism, that is away from the gravity. Okay, that is, or against the gravity. So that is known as negative geotropism. Next is chemotropism. It is a movement of plant in response to chemical stimuli. Example is growth of pollen tube towards the ovule. This comes under the topic reproduction in the plants. Okay. Next is hydrotropism. That is the movement of plants in response to water. Example we can give is movement of roots towards in the search of water. Okay, so where there is a water, the roots will grow towards the water. That is known as hydrotropism. See the examples given over there. Phototropism. The plants are what they can say, they are directed towards one side because the sun or the light is coming from that side. So that is phototropism. Geotropism. The roots are directed towards the ground and the shoot is directed towards the above the ground. That is known as geotropism. And chemotropism is the example of double fertilization which takes place in the you can say the plants. So that is chemotropism. The pollen grains travel towards the ovules without any support or without any system. That is known as chemotropism. The next is the non-directional movement. Okay, that is it is not dependent over the growth. Okay, so that is nastic movements. Okay, are non-directional movements which are neither towards or away the stimulus, but it does not depend on growth. Okay, example, if it touch the leaves of touch me not plant, its leaves fold up and droops down immediately due to change in the amount of water in the leaves. Okay, why they shut their leaves? Because of the change of amount of water in the leaves. Depending upon the amount of water in the leaves, it swells or shrinks. Okay, if the water is less, the plant will shrink. If the water is more, the plant will swell. Okay, so here we have completed the coordination in plants. Next we see over here is a part of hormones. Okay, we'll just see the hormone, what is hormone and the characteristics of hormones in this video. So the hormone is a chemical messenger that regulates physiological process in living organisms. Okay, a hormone is a chemical messenger that regulates physiological process. Physiological means what? Inside the body. Okay, all the systems are worked upon this hormones in the living organism. They are secreted by a gland. The hormones are secreted by a gland. Gland is a muscular pouch, you can say. In that pouch, all the chemicals are filled up, or the hormones are filled up. That is known as gland. A regulation of physiological processes, control and coordination by the hormone is governed by the endocrine system. The nervous system along with the endocrine system in our body control and coordinates the physiological processes. And now in this hormones there are two types of systems, that is the exocrine system and endocrine system. Okay, so now for this lesson we are more concerned about the endocrine system because it is the main part which controls and coordinates in our body, that is endocrine system. In the next video we can see in detail what is the endocrine system and what is the exocrine system. Okay. So now we will turn over to the characteristics of hormone, or what the hormone does in our body. The hormones act as a chemical messengers. They are secreted by the glands or the cell tissues or organs called glands. They are secreted in very small quantity by glands. They act upon specific cells, tissues or organs called the target sites. They have the target. They do not go anywhere where they want. No. Where there is a need, there is a hormone. And when there is a need, that part is known as target site. They are generally slow in action but have long lasting effects. They either accelerate or inhibit a reaction. Okay, they either accelerate means they just fasten the reaction, or they stop the reaction. Okay, so in this video we have covered about the hormones and the characteristics of hormones, and in the next video we are going to see about the endocrine system, exocrine system, and what are the hormones secreted in our body. Okay, thank you children.